What's up guys, in this video I want to talk to you about why I get up at 6 AM every weekday, and despite me only having to get up at 7:10ish AM. In 2017, around February, I read a book called The Miracle Morning, written by Hal Elrod, and in that book Hal talked about how he kind of discovered the perfect morning routine for him, and that morning routine consists of 6 exercises called the Life Savers, since it's silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading and scribing, aka writing. After reading that book, I decided to give it a chance. I didn't really feel that great around that time, so I decided it certainly won't hurt, so let's just try it. Immediately the day after, I started getting up at 6 AM and kind of never looked back. This doesn't mean, however, that I stuck with the 6 exercises from the book. I did do that for around 8 months straight, I think. Then I don't quite remember why, but then I just started slacking on that, and after a few weeks of slacking I just gave it up at all. But what I noticed is that I did want to keep getting up at 6 AM. I had come to really like that time for just myself, and whether I chose to read or watch YouTube videos or stare in nothingness or whatever I felt like, it just felt nice to have a whole hour of a day for just you, nobody who comes to interrupt you since everyone is still asleep, and yeah, just you, your thoughts, or YouTube videos if you decide to do that. After doing this kind of whatever I wanted to do thing for a few months, I decided that I wanted to get back into the Lifesavers, and I did that again for a few months, and then I dropped off again, and for the next around close to 3 years I kept doing this. I kept resetting it, doing it for a while and dropping back off. After a while, I think at the start of 2020, I just decided that I didn't need to do the Lifesavers. I could have a perfectly fine morning routine without it. Obviously, the 6 exercises are very beneficial. They can really help, and they did really help, but if I don't feel a need to do them, then I'm not going to force myself to do it. Since the beginning of 2020, after I decided this, I just kind of decided to go with the flow again and see what I felt like doing, and often that was watching YouTube videos. But then recently I saw a video by Matt Diavella, who talked about his morning routine and why he no longer has a morning routine that you could consider mindful or relaxing, whatever. And it kind of came to the conclusion that he decided to just get up, get a cup of coffee, I believe, and just start working, because that was what he felt like he wanted to do and he enjoyed doing. And that video kind of made me think, because I was watching YouTube videos in that hour that I was awake, but I didn't really do it because I felt like watching YouTube videos. It was just what I had been doing for a few months, and watching YouTube videos is easy. It doesn't require any effort, and once you do it, it's kind of nice. But after watching that video, I decided, okay, what do I really enjoy doing and want to do? And I kind of came to the realization that I want to do 2 things. One, I want to read a bit every day. It doesn't matter whether it's a page, 10 pages or 50, I don't care. But I want to read, and I want to work on this, YouTube, my blog, and anything that has to do with that. So after kind of processing that for myself, that's what I started doing. The next morning I woke up, I read for as long as I felt like it, and I wrote a blog post. And after my hour was up, it felt awesome, because I'd done what I wanted to do, and I'd done things that otherwise I would have had to do later in the afternoon after school, and that would have just given me extra stress. So it was really nice to have gotten it out of the way in a way that didn't stress me out. And sometimes I still have some homework to do, or I need to study a bit more for a test, and I'll just do that instead of working on a blog post or a video script or whatever. But it just feels really nice to do things that I actually want to do in the morning instead of things that I need to push myself to do, because when I wake up in the morning I don't need effort to start reading something as long as it's a good book, and also I don't need motivation or put in effort to get started on a blog post or a video script because it's something that I enjoy doing. And yeah, it just gives an amazing feeling, and it's the reason that I have been posting regularly on my blog, and I want to start posting as regular on my YouTube channel as well. And I hope that maybe I can start posting twice a week instead of one, but with the construction coming up here for the next like 4 or 5 months, I don't know whether that's the best time to try and increase my uploading frequency. So I have decided that I set a goal for myself for the next 10 weeks. I want to upload 1 video and 1 blog post every week, and if I've done that, then I can kind of reflect and see whether I think it's doable to start uploading more videos. Another thing that I've noticed with getting up earlier and just doing whatever I want to do in the time frame, I genuinely feel better and happier, since usually let's say I got up at 7 a.m. After that I immediately had to get out of bed, start preparing for school, go to school, etc. And then when I get back in the afternoon at like 4 p.m. ish, that's the first time in that day that I have for myself, and even then I first have to finish homework, study for tests, and maybe prep blog post or a YouTube video, whatever. But with that extra hour in the morning, I get in time for myself, I get in stress-free time and uninterrupted time, which I think is also really important, because when I write in the morning I get around double the amount of work done in half an hour that I usually get done in like 45 to 60 minutes, simply because it's uninterrupted time, and that just allows me to stay more in the flow. So to summarize, why I get up at 6 a.m. every day in the week is because it gives me some me time, it's a relaxed time, and I can get work done without getting interrupted. It increases my productivity and it increases my mood. So you might be wondering, at what time do I get to bed? Well, that's actually quite a big thing for me, because unlike a lot of people my age, I go to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. simply because I'm not a night owl. I just can't stay awake for very much longer than that, and that also has to do with the muscle disease I used to have, which causes me to get tired more often. More information about that here. But yeah, so going to bed early for me isn't a problem, and of course if I meet with friends in the weekend or go to bed later in the weekends, then I'll just get up later, because I do want to get my 7 to 8 hours of sleep, preferably more, but that's usually not really achievable. So in the weekends I usually get up around 8 a.m. ish, kind of depending on what time I did go to bed, because if I did go to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. then I'll just get up at 6, but if it's later than that I'll just add another hour for every hour I go to bed later, which makes sense, I hope. All in all, I encourage you to try and start getting up a little bit earlier, even if it's just like 15 minutes or half an hour. You can just get started with that or finish with that, whatever you want. And I think it will really show you the benefits of just having some time for yourself. In this day and age, that's pretty rare. And yeah, I think not a lot of people know how beneficial just 15 minutes to yourself can be on a day, and how much difference it can make in your mood and just state of mind. So, as I said, please try it. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. That's really awesome to see. And yeah, if you liked the video, please give it a like. Consider subscribing if you aren't already. And I hope to see you in next week's video. uninterrupted. Sure, that's a really good word.